How have you found joining the podcasting world?
Um, I remember when I first started, I'm acting like this was ages ago. It hasn't even been a year yet. But at the very beginning, we were designated roles in terms of like social media and like how we're gonna contact people. And I remember Yohai actually saying, you can promote the podcast. I was like, okay, how do I do that? It's like, how do I do that? He's like, social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. I was like, I don't have any of that. He's like, do you have Facebook? I said, no. He was like, do you have, what was it? Do you have LinkedIn? I said, no. He was like, do you have this? Do you have that? I was like, no. He was like, oh my God, Tadini, you get with the times. He was like, you're going to have to like get with it. And even like a few weeks ago, he did even say to me, it's like, you should try promote it more. And I'm like, I am, but like, you're learning. Like I made a whole new Instagram for the podcast and a whole new email address. But at the same time, it's not easy. It is a learning curve. You see, like you said, you see what works for you, what doesn't. I get inspired by other podcasts too. I realize instead of just posting every time we have an episode, I've got to post throughout the week, post things relevant to the topics we're discussing, follow other podcasters too. So it is a learning thing. I think for my previous experience with social media, which isn't a lot, I just let the followers come in. Yeah, I'm just learning. I do take inspiration from others. And like we do have our key colors and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't think there's like a right or wrong way at the very beginning. It's kind of figuring out what works for your podcast. Essentially you're right. It seems like today that everybody has a podcast. So when we first started, even till now, I'm not really fixated on the views or like the numbers it gets or any of that. I know that some people might say it's like the amount of numbers you get that like determines the success, but I really don't think it's that. I think it's like even that one person that would watch it or listen to it or follow you, the impact that can have on them might be way more than it could on a large number of people that just listen and then go and do nothing with it. Does that make sense?
It's about, in the previous episode, I mentioned it. I've probably mentioned it in other things. One of the things that sort of stuck out for me from, I think it was the Justice League 2017. I don't know if it was in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a massive comic book fan. So yeah, I went into that, Justice League 2017 with high expectations and some of those didn't deliver. But essentially one key thing that came out of that film was Batman, the Flash is like worried about like, who like how he's supposed to be a hero and things like that, and he asked Batman like what does it mean to be a hero, all of this stuff, and Batman literally is just like, you just have to save one person, that's all it takes. You just to be a hero, you just have to save one person. And I think for me that stuck with me because it was just like, whether it's to do with podcasting, whether it's to do with like, I don't know, my job, like whatever, all I have to do is just help one person. And I said that the key thing for me is that I just always assume like with whatever episode we're doing on, whether it's like something talking about Game of Thrones or we're talking about we're playing like games or whatever, is that there's one person out there who is looking for my content. And whether that one person listens, like whether that person, listens to it 100 times and that's why I've got like a video gets 100 views, or whether that's, it's only got like 4 views that week. I think for me, that was it. And I was just like, the thing is, with the podcast, the content's there for them to get in. So even if the person, like, even if someone doesn't view it as soon as it comes out, then there's no point in me saying, I didn't do well, I'm going to delete it, because you never know.